Um, so YouTube world, thanks for tuning in. Today we have yet another video, which involves stocks and bonds. And we're gonna talk about the after hours. We're going over JP Morgan and Chase. And right now they're going for $300.33, and they're up at the moment when they open up. Plus 2.36%, and during the after hour times and later on, they're going to be down 0.43%, and the possibility of the share price being lower than that. So let's just dive right into it. Uh, we're going to take a look at today's date, which is the 9th. And we're going to take a step back and look at the graph, and we're going to say, okay, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I looking at? And you're going to see the beginning of the graph being shown as the uptrend, which is exactly what you see on right here. Um, in a lifetime, I wouldn't say I won much in a lifetime because um it's hard to see those numbers, because you're not really like investing a lot of money. It's like small amounts, right? So those small amounts, it can equal to something, but normally, it all takes time. Uh, so we go right here, look at the date, and it's the first. Yeah, if you can make it past the year, or to the year, compound interest. I believe that comes like once a year. If you save the stock, you don't touch it. So the idea is not to touch it, but a lot of times what end up happening, you end up touching it, right? And then it just, it disappears. But if you don't touch it, you will get those compound interest, right? So right here, this whole graph line is green, right? You go up here and the thing, and you see, this is the graph line symbol, right? And that's entirely what you see right here, and this is the uptrend, right? All this right here is the uptrend. Now, you may see sometimes it may go down uh, around the original, with the high price, which is $311, but a lot of times you'll see what it's doing for the next date, you know. This, They have different size graphs, some on the computer, some on your phone. But generally speaking, it's all the same, right? Well, you'll see that it's all the same. So this is uh, the green upward trend. So you go to the 5 days, uh, right here, and so in this corner, again, you want to read the graph left to right, you know, not right to left, but you want to read it left to right. So this information right here is the potential up dollar and the down dollar, right? What it could cause at its high and what it could cause at its low. And in this case, it's going to be the same, $293, 292, and its close date, right? So you still look at the graph the same. It's a green line, right? So the trend is up. So it doesn't necessarily show um the downtrend, which is fine because you kind of want everything to match. Um, the numbers right here, and this is pretty much like where the bank goes, you know. So as you take a look at the graph, right, you go up here, go to the month. Now, this is where you kind of see the beginning of the downtrend, right? Because green is the buy, red is the sell. So this is where you begin to see the downtrend. Now, what you want to do is the downtrend may come, right? It may come, but I mean, if you give us some time, I'll say about less than an hour, you can see what it's going to try to do, right? And of course, it's going to always try to stay in the uptrend, with the numbers being at the same, the original price. What is that? 310. Yeah, 310. Which go up to here, right? 310. But you always want to go for the sell price that has less than 300, all right? Because who wants to spend so many dollars on the sell price? So you sit back and you kind of see what it's doing. That's the red trend, right? And that's the red. Boom, that's the red. You see that? Now you go to the 3 month. Now, what it tells you is like there's numbers and there's like data, right? And this all that is, and this is all that it reads the number and the data, right? And here goes the downtrend we was talking about on the previous days of the month. Now, we could make it bigger or smaller, but before we get into those buttons, right? You kind of see, the downtrend with the red, right? You see the downtrend, a little uptrend, but what it's doing is it's kind of still kind of fixing itself because a lot of profit is here, but at the same time, due to like dividends or different reasons, there's gonna always be a downtrend, right? So, but it's not too bad because you still see the uptrend, but again, it's a very heavy downtrend, but some life of an uptrend. And again, um, maybe sometime in the morning it'll open up, but you'll still see the plus 236 unless this changed significantly, right? So let's go. I think the year to date, well, it's a little different, but as you can see, there's a heavy red train. I mean, not red train, red trend that should not be ignored. You see life, but it must have a downtrend. It must have a downtrend because you can sell right here and you can continue to sell. Buying right here and then selling right there, right? But always remember that it'll have a downtrend. And it's okay because downtrend tends to happen, right? So let's go to the year to date. Now, this is where we can kind of maybe show just a little bit more what it's doing. So when you look at it, right? So you can see this whole thing, right? And understand that it's going to be a downtrend, you know, but not too much because in the previous dates, right, you already had your downtrend. You see, and it kind of already shows you where the average dollar line is going to be at. So you'll begin to see, even in the after hours, the 0.75, 0.99, right? So if it were to be around this time, I would definitely get into this stock because you notice the downtrend a few days ago from the computer, and so you see that like if we can move this out the way, that there's going to be an uptrend that has got tired of doing a downtrend. That might be one little small dip, but the majority of it is going to be an uptrend. Now you'll say like, "Wow, what is this?" Right? But green is to buy, red is to sell, and these blocks right here will definitely let you know that this area, a significant buy, and it goes to 310, back to the original price. And I'm telling you, like this same method, use it for like cheaper, sale prices. Uh, Now 3 years. Let's go back to the plus 2.36. Open hours and the closing hours, right? Now, we really don't have much to worry about because there is definitely an uptrend that the videos that we did or the videos or the information that we saw, it led us to show that, yeah, we're good in this area, but at the same time, it must go down in this area. But when you look at what it does in its history, 3 years from now, and possibly 5 years into the max, you'll see that, of course, you know, this graph line, for sure, when you sit back and look at it, it does exactly what it's supposed to do. And that is, of course, you want more green blocks because that's the profit sign, and it'll pretty much show you exactly what it's doing. The green blocks, the red blocks, the green blocks, the red box, right? So we'll go to the 5 year, the 5 year date, right? The 5 year, and then you can sit back and definitely see that you want to see it going, up, regardless of this little action right down here. As long as the action is going up and not down, we have a pretty good way of a stance. Now, being patient right in here in this area is going to be very important because you still want to give it about an hour to let it reboost. Because people are buying and selling all the time, fast, a push of a button. But as long as you sit back, right, and you see the big picture, you'll see the red downtrend and the green. And that's all what it does, right? And so when you go to the max, like the final prediction, who knows, 5 years, 6 years, right? That upward position, even if it's a solid straight line, it's still, going up. And it's still at the 310 up 236, and it's still up 292. And right around here, it's at the 300 mark. And that's pretty much what you want, when you're in the stock market. Again, that's JPMorgan Chase. Now let's take a look at what the other people look at. Now you'll see you'll call them day traders, but you'll see um, the exact same thing on the big blocks. So instead of using the graph line right here, we'll go to the trader blocks or different indicators. But the majority of the stuff that you see, right, we can go to the month because we only got, another week in this month, 2 weeks. And so this would be a more of an accurate setup or accurate time, right? Because when you're day trading, you want the most accurate time. You see, green is to buy, red is to sell. This is all buying, sell. Yeah, you see. So when you see them guys on YouTube doing this, oops, hold up. Mm, when you see them looking at this kind of stuff, this is always they're pretty much looking at. I'm no financial advisor. Just small information, but the downtrend, uptrend. If I were to see this, yeah, I'm definitely buying. I would like to say thanks for paying attention. Oh yeah, just in case you guys want to see something. Keep investing and stay on your grind.